Hello, this is Berzinsky for Beardbrand Alliance. Recently, Eric made a clip about the insecurities that he struggles with in his life, and I thought I'd take an opportunity and talk about mine. We all have insecurities. There is something in our lives that we wish was different, that we wish we could change. Stay tuned. I'm going to talk to you about some of those things and how I deal with each of them. Insecurities are very personal matters. To the degree that you struggle with something in your life, it might be really important to you and not important to someone else. So what's important is that you, in general, don't judge what other people struggle with, because you might not have an issue with what they're struggling with. Someone might say, hey, I have this thing that I don't like about myself, but you don't have that issue with that thing. It's best that we let people, deal with it, and where we can help people, we should help them. I've talked before about my insecurities in the past. In my first interview with Eric, which we've linked below here, I've talked about things that I struggled with in the past. And one of the major things that I struggled with was being really thin, being skinny, and being bullied because of it. And that's something that, yes, I wish things were different. I wished I was really physically fit and, a star athlete, but that's not the way the cards played out. But those things in the past, that one in particular, being painfully thin, is something that has changed into a different insecurity as I've become a man of a certain age. So once being really thin, having trouble keeping weight on, now I struggle with keeping the weight off. And that probably has a lot to do with my age and mostly my metabolism. I'm a fairly fit guy. I work out, and I probably could do more cardiovascular exercise, but now it is a struggle to be able to maintain a certain weight. Why care so much? Most of it has to do with the fact that I'm called upon to actually be a model and to be able to fit into clothes. So therefore, I have to remain a certain size, and so that I can fit either into sample clothes or even fit into my existing wardrobe. So I wrestle with that because maybe I was thin as a young person, but then most of my 40s and my 50s, I was seen as being pretty fit. And so to suddenly see yourself changing, mostly because of the advancement of age in my case, is often tough to deal with. A lot of what I said in dealing with my weight has a lot to do with my age now. So I'm getting older, and so I've also made a second career out of being older, which I am thankful for. But do I worry about actually advancing age? And so I can actually say that I can be insecure about my age. And it doesn't have to do with the fact that I have gray hair. I love my gray hair, I love my gray beard. It's not that. A lot of it has to do with the perception of other people. And this is a difficult thing for me because we shouldn't really be caring what other people think about us, should we? To the degree that it upsets us. And so this, in terms of growing old, has to do with the fact that I think people are okay with me having gray hair and a gray beard, but not necessarily looking old. Do I look 60? I think I look 60. People say that I look younger than 60. Well, I'm not quite 60. I'll be 60 in the fall. But, I struggle sometimes looking in the mirror and not seeing the man that I even knew 2 years ago, let alone 10 years ago or 20 years ago. So how do I deal with that? I deal with that by actually trying not to focus on that and reminding myself that I actually do have a second career because of some of the things that are perceived as age. One thing that I'm more insecure about related to my age is actually starting to feel old physically and slowing down. So I often am put in context with younger people at photo shoots or younger guys who are obviously more physically fit than I am. And I'm like, can I, look fit, but also can I actually keep up if we're doing a running shoot, or if we are being really active, will I be able to keep up? And so I have some insecurities about that. I'll deal with it. I'll keep dealing with it and reminding myself that, hey, they asked me here for a reason, and hopefully they'll keep asking me back. I have to tell you, as I sit here as a spokesperson for Beardbrand, that I have insecurities related to my beard. It's true. And you've heard me talk a lot about the patches, and it's something that, I'm thinking, am I, the right person to be sitting here talking about, beards, knowing that I'm covering up these patches in my beards. And so I have some insecurity about that. One of the reasons I keep my beard well groomed, if I wasn't keeping my beard well groomed, I probably wouldn't have one, because I think my natural beard, for the most part, doesn't look all that great. It looks good. It looks good enough, but it doesn't look as polished as I would like it to look because of the thin patches in my beard. And as you get older, and I'm going to talk about this in another video, levels of changing testosterone, levels of stress, levels of medical conditions can contribute to thinness in your beard, especially as you get older. And so that's one thing I am insecure about, is will I start developing a thinner beard as I get old? I think that my patches are probably where they are. I'm getting some fill-in hair here as I've gotten older, and even in the past couple of years. But did I hit the end? Have I hit the wall? Am I now at the point where my beard will start getting thin? So something I worry about, something I think about, something that I'm insecure about. And I know you're probably saying this is absolutely ridiculous. But once again, it's probably a relative thing to me, but also I know beards, I see beards, I see guys with fantastic, dense, thick beards, and it's something that you hold yourself against. People tell me, hey, I use your beard as what I model my beard after, and I'm grateful for that and thankful for that. I think that's probably one of the reasons why I'm here, and maybe one of the main reasons why I have a voice is that I have a pretty normal beard, a beard that's afflicted with patches, that has some thin areas, that doesn't have a lot of coverage here or a lot of coverage up there. And the fact that I can groom my beard in a way that projects itself as being, a good beard. So for that, I am thankful for. And maybe this platform itself, Beardbrand, has given me an opportunity to actually help me overcome one of the things that I'm insecure about. So thank you, Beardbrand. Thanks, Eric, for actually, it just dawned on me, that it's because of Beardbrand that I have less insecurities about my beard, and something that has actually prevented me from growing a beard prior to the beard that I have now for 10 years, because I was insecure about it. So hats off to Beardbrand. Just dawned on me here. How about that? One of the reasons I like having a beard on my face is I think it balances things out. And I say this now, saying that people will probably think it's not true, but my nose is actually pretty big, pretty wide, and it's something that I've been insecure about. I've broken my nose a couple of times. I broke it in a weird acrobat accident while I was in high school, sitting on a friend's shoulders who was sitting on his brother's shoulders, walking down the street. We fell over, I passed out and hit the ground. Unconscious, but I also smashed my nose in, my teeth went through my lip, and a good way to start, I think it was 10th grade. But I went back when I was in college, and they broke it and straightened it. And the plastic surgeon at the time, I'm like, okay, give me, someone else's nose, and give me a smaller nose, because I saw my dad's nose, which was pretty big, and I think, oh, is that going to happen to me? Am I going to progressively get this bigger and bigger nose? And the doctor, in his wisdom, said, you are 6'1.5" at the time. 6'2", he said, looking at your dad, you are probably going to be a bigger guy someday, taller guy, heavier guy, and you have big eyes and a big mouth and a big head. You don't need a small nose. And so he basically just broke it, straightened it, and that was it. And actually something that I'm thankful for. But it's something that when taking pictures, I know my angles. My nose doesn't look big there, but if I get in close to the camera, if I have the wrong angle, there it is, but my nose can look bigger. Relative, I know, but my nose does look bigger when I don't have a beard. Yes, those are physical things, but there are other things that I have insecurities about, and they have to do with my skill set in what I do. Now, I'm blessed. I have a good arsenal of things that I can do, and it's not to say that I'm not doing, a good job. But part of my charge in life is that I should be doing the best of my ability. And we used to tell our kids, work as unto the Lord, which means that your boss is not your school teacher, your boss is not your superior at work, but for me, my boss was God. And so I wanted to do the best job. I wanted my kids to do the best job. So I'm holding myself to that standard. And sometimes when you don't meet that standard, I can feel like, I'm failing, even though I'm not failing. So that is one thing that I have some insecurity about. I often think that I will be revealed as a sham, that, he's just coasting, or those are the kind of things that go through my head related to insecurities with my skill set. So how do I deal with it? I deal with that by just trying harder and trying to improve what I did over what I did the last time. And so even in video production, I feel I've gotten better on camera. I have been called out for, too many pregnant pauses, or I have been suggested that I squinted too much. And so I take all those things into consideration. I take constructive criticism pretty well. Constructive criticism. I actually applaud people who have the ability to help other people see not so much a fault, but see where there is room for improvement, and giving ways in which they can help to do that. I want to be that person in my life, not to be running around giving unsolicited advice, but be the person that can help my friends or people who ask me where they can improve things. I want to be able to look at that constructively and actually give them advice. So that's the way I deal with it. When I feel like I'm not living up to my own potential as let's say a creative, whether that be in design or whether that be in video work or in front of the camera, I just try harder and just know that that's what I can do. And so are we ever going to reach perfection? No. We're going to ever reach perfection in so many of the areas of our lives, even related to your looks, your physique, your education. Probably not, but we can always strive to be better. We can always strive to just go one step further. And we can actually help the people around us to do that as well, whether they be families or friends. So I want to encourage you to do that. Help your friends with their insecurities. If they confide in you, keep it as a confidence and actually help them where you can. And encourage your brothers and sisters to be the best that they can be, and remind them that you're friends with them, and that you enjoy their company, and you enjoy them in spite or because of their insecurities. Until we meet again.
Hey, I'm Mark. Beardbrand Products and the Beardbrand mission both not only help me care for my beard in a way that is just unmatched by any other company, any other product, but they've really helped me kind of wear my beard and present it to the world in a way that, honestly, for the first time in my life, kind of makes me feel kind of handsome. Sometimes. But